So just so our audience knows, this is what we're about. We're about drinking wine, having fun, and talking about housewives. That's what we're about.
And listen, it's not always about the drinking. I just did a 3-week hiatus where I had not an ounce of alcohol. So if you don't drink, we would still love you to listen because if you like Housewives.
Welcome to We Whine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Welcome to We Whine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19, Episode number 10, Whine, W-H-I-N-E, or Champagne. That was a bad title. I'm sorry. It was. I don't like
even
it.
get it.
I mean, whining, like complaining, which is really a lot of what goes on.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I didn't like it. So I'd like to let our listeners know, if you happen to hear a cricket in the background, that's my cricket. It's my pet cricket. I don't know where it is. It's driving me crazy, and I'm sorry. It's cricket season here in Jersey.
With that said, it's definitely cricket season in Jersey. With that said, I was in the bathroom earlier and I look over and there is a bug on the door in my bathroom that I've never seen this type of bug before. I was like, what the fuck is that? And no, I didn't scream. And I thought quickly enough to just grab a tissue and get it and throw it in the garbage. I wish I kind of took a picture of it first because I honestly, it wasn't super big, but I was like, what is that? I've never seen it before. But again, it's bug season in Jersey. So
bug season.
You really never know what you're going to get. It's not like Florida where they're like small animals, like a small kitten size, but you know.
Yeah, no, it's still scary.
Yeah.
All right, so back to OC. We start out with Shannon and Sophie are together, and I guess Shannon's getting Botox. I'm assuming that's what those needles were in her face. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we see Jenn and Ryan and her son Dominic. They're washing the Cybertruck. That's not obnoxious. I don't know what is. And talking about the wedding. He's never been to a wedding before, but he's been to a funeral. And then Jen says, well, it's kind of a funeral for Ryan, but a wedding for me. That's an odd conversation you're having with your
I thought that was
your
kind
son.
of funny, actually.
Heather is opening up Fendi
Rest
packages.
in peace, Ryan's singlehood.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, if that wasn't obnoxious, I don't know what was. All those Fendi boxes.
I can't. Everything is such an act with Heather. Everything. Like Terry just happened to walk in and she was unpacking her Fendi and she's like, oh, you're not supposed to see me unpacking these. It's like, oh my God, everything is an act.
Yeah. So, Shannon is.
Well, we see that later on in the show, too.
Yeah, we do. So Tamra calls Shannon while she's at the place getting the Botox because her daughter's there with her and invites her to the private vineyard in Temecula. Shannon doesn't actually answer her, and she takes the information and just, receives the information is really where she leaves it. Then we see Emily and Tamra go shopping, and Emily was talking about she was doing a cheerleading competition with Annabelle and how exhausting it is because she's got to do her hair and makeup and has to get up early and is there all day. And it turns out, I didn't realize this, that Gina then meets up with Jenn and Shannon, and she was at the same cheerleading competition because her daughter does the same competitions that Emily's daughter does. So at least she had a friend there.
I remember seeing that on their social media. I remember seeing them being there together.
That's
nice. I thought that was so cute because I think Snooki and JWoww wind up at the same cheering competition sometimes too.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so Shannon is telling Gina and Jenn that, she got the invite to the Temecula trip, but she hadn't answered yet. And she also tells them that she called her therapist on the way there to meet with them. And her therapist reminded her that she was very clear about her relationship with Tamra. Gina and Jenn are like, well, maybe you could just come for us. So bottom line is they wind up talking her into going. I mean, it is part of her job. So sometimes you do have to suck it up for work, right? It is her job. Tamra is telling.
How about Tamra telling Emily Yeah, that Shannon was a mess when she called her.
Yeah.
But she
It's
just
just
got a
being mean.
facial. I look a mess after a facial too.
I do too. I do too. Well, yeah. I mean, come on. It's just mean girl behavior. It's just mean. It really is.
Yeah, totally is.
Jen says she always has fun with Tamra until she doesn't, and then it sucks. Then we see Heather's doing her podcast. And she has on a guest, Dylan Mulvaney. Never heard of Dylan Mulvaney before, but she's a transgender female. And they met on Instagram. Heather says in her confessional that she has 4 different kids, different genders, different sexualities, and she believes that she was given these kids for a reason. And she also says that she's concerned how her children are received and how they are perceived. I'm not going to talk a lot about this. It is what it is. And I know there's a lot of strong opinions about it. I'm glad that she has this platform to do what she wants with it. And, I think that's also Dylan thanked her for playing her mom on a video. Like, I don't know if she's a performer. I guess she's a singer. I don't know I don't know
Yeah, I
who
mean, she
Dylan
must
Mulvaney
be.
is. Yeah, for playing her mom because, many people wouldn't even touch the trans community at her level. But because
It's really
personally,
funny because as soon as I saw this scene, I'm like, oh my God, now we got to see Heather on her podcast. Like, she just annoys me. But then when I saw who she was having on and their conversation and then Heather's confessional, I'm like, okay, like this was actually like a
mhm,
real moment with Heather.
yeah,
And it was
no,
very nice to see.
yeah, this is her
It
real
wasn't
life. This is
produced.
right.
Exactly.
This is
Exactly.
her
She
real
was
life,
showing us
right.
a little snippet of her real life and I appreciated it and I enjoyed it. And listen, it's very personal for her. It was a nice interview. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I actually might. I would never listen to a podcast of Heather's otherwise, but I might listen to it because I find this Dylan Mulvaney very interesting. I just thought it was nice. It was an authentic moment with Heather, which
I
we
do
very
too.
rarely get.
Exactly. Because the next thing we get is Emily and Jen meet at the animal shelter to volunteer. Come on. Are
That
we
was
really
nice too.
believing? Well, I mean, cleaning up the cat litter? Come
I thought that
on.
was nice.
I mean, listen, that was so phony. You know damn well they were not really cleaning the cat litter. I mean, they probably did the 3
You don't
seconds
think
that
they
we saw
really
them.
were?
No.
No, huh?
No, because they're like, "Oh, we did a great job." And he's like, "Yeah, it was okay." And then they said something else. He's, "Yeah, it was all right." Like, no, he wasn't giving it to them. And then he's like, "Okay, your next thing is you're going to go outside and play with the dogs." Okay,
Yeah. Well,
really?
that.
I mean, come on. Listen, I'm glad that they gave that particular shelter some airtime so people can know about it and
Yes.
go
Yes.
there. But it was just too fake for me. I don't like that kind of stuff. But they are
See,
talking.
and
Emily's
I
telling.
thought they really because I mean, Emily's like both of them have a lot of rescues. So I thought
Yeah.
it was like a real, but all right, okay.
I mean, Emily's telling Jen about what's going on with Luke. And then she says something that I just found a little bit odd. She said that because I understand what's going on in Luke's brain, I have to regulate his emotions, so I coddle him. I thought to myself, no, it doesn't work that way. And she said that Shane thinks that it's enabling behavior and that the therapist said that because you were the only one in the house that has a connection with him, that she recommended that she hug him. I mean, hugging and coddling are 2 totally different things. I mean, a hug is a hug, right?
Right, right, right.
I I understand having a child with, I'm gonna say special needs because I consider myself to have actually a child with special needs, and I understand how it affects the family, right?
Right,
When you're
right.
giving all the attention to one and certain behavior that they think is manipulative or, you know, they don't agree with, and they don't agree with the way that you are handling it. I understand that. I've lived through that, right? That I totally
Right.
get.
For sure,
But to
for sure.
but to say that you understand his brain and that it's your job to regulate his emotions, like, I mean, if you're really putting that on yourself, that is so unrealistic.
Very unrealistic. It's unattainable is what it is.
Yes. I mean, you can't, I mean, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
It's a recipe for disaster. You're setting yourself up for failure. You cannot expect to regulate his emotions. And honestly, I don't think you can understand his brain. I don't. I mean, you're a lawyer. Don't underthink. I mean, I get it. You're a mom. I mean, I'm a mom too, right? And we think as a mom that like we can just love these things away. You can hug them away. You can coddle them
If
away.
only.
If only, right? If only, but it
Yep.
just doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
That
How
part of it
about
I
when
thought
she
was
said
real.
that her other son was asking to go to therapy because he's sad about what's happening and doesn't know, how to manage
Yeah,
those feelings. I mean, listen, thank God he said that to her. I
100%.
mean, what a smart little boy. And that's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's very sad. And like you said, now she's got that door open that he can go to therapy because it was his
for sure.
idea, right?
Yep.
And I mean, we know, I have 3 boys, but boys don't like to talk. They don't. Generally,
Oh,
they don't like to talk. So
at
if you have a
all.
boy who's saying, I want to go to therapy and I'm sad, my gosh, that is a blessing in itself, right?
Right.
That's a blessing.
Right.
Emily also talks about, she feels, and this, I think she's being so hard on herself, but that's how moms are. She feels like she was, her behavior was detrimental to her other children because she thought that they didn't need her. But now she realizes that they do need her, but in a different way. And, that's kind of what we do. Like we beat ourselves up for every decision that we've made and everything we've done. We do the best
It's
we can.
constant. We're in a constant state of guilt.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, the next scene where we see Tamra's packing and talking to her daughter,
Wait,
Sophie.
how about when Jen says, you're going to raise these boys and they're going to become these big men? And Emily's like, well, they're not going to be too big.
Yeah.
Shane is their father.
Exactly. That was good. That was good.
She's so funny. She is
Yeah,
funny. I don't
she
love
is.
her
No,
this season because of her blind loyalty to Tamra, but that was
well,
funny. That's the Emily I love.
yes, she is funny. The next scene we see is Tamara's packing and talking to her daughter Sophie. Sophie asks like what girls are going on the trip and she's like Jenn, Shannon and Gina. She knows that she's not getting along with Shannon, but Tamara lets her know that she got her a self-help book and it's called How to Not Be a Miserable Cow. What? Sophie said, that's very passive aggressive of you. I'm so glad she called her out. I'm so glad she called her out. And then she opens up the book and shows her, and look, it has large letters. Sophie said, so it's just dis after dis with you. You're saying, here you're a miserable human and you're a bitch that can't see. Here's a book with large letters for you. You can't
Yeah,
help
like,
but be petty. Those were her exact words.
but yet Tamra's big thing with Shannon is, why can't you just let it go? Why can't we just move on? Why can't we forget about the past? Because you keep saying shit like this about her. You keep doing
Yeah.
shit like this. Buying
It's
her
not
a
funny.
book called How Not to Be a Miserable Cow.
Right.
That's why
Right.
she can't move on, because you're still acting a fool.
Yeah. I loved that Sophie called her out on it, though. I love that she did.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
I guess if anybody can do it, it's the one kid of hers that's talking to her.
I think her son talks to her also. Not Ryan, the other one. I mean, Ryan does too, but her other son, Spencer, I think he speaks to her too.
So she only
Yeah.
has one kid not talking to her?
Right. It's only one. The trip is only one night. It's 1 night and 2 days. I just want everyone to remember that. This is not it's an overnight trip. That's it. One
Yeah.
night.
It's a beautiful house, though.
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, my God.
It was gorgeous.
I mean, that's what California's got over. I mean, I know there's beautiful areas in all states, but California's got some really beautiful, beautiful areas. But those houses, the real estate there is crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. So then Heather calls up Emily to invite her over. She's going to invite Gretchen over for a sleepover since those 3 are not going to the vineyard trip. And okay, so you're going to split the group up again. I mean, we've done this before. Okay, we're going to do it again. We'll see how this
Well,
works.
this was part of Tamra's apology tour.
Right.
The 3 people she's bringing. Well, no, because Gina, she doesn't have any.
Well, no,
I guess Gina's like the mediator.
Yes, stuck in the middle, kind of to try and so they don't kill each other. Right. So Gina's telling Travis that, Jen and Shannon's relationship with Tamra is very fragile. And she says this, I feel like I'm in the middle. The next thing that she says is that, the other day I told Tamra it was kind of crappy that she called out Shannon last year about her drinking. And then this year you're pulling her away to sneak away for a cocktail. Well, Tamra says, well, you don't think she's better? That wasn't the point that she was making, actually, Tamra. That was not the point that she was making.
Right.
And
it was
Gina's
about
answers,
you, Tamra. It wasn't about Shannon.
Right. And then Gina's answer is, well, I see her creeping back. And then we cut to the scene and Gina goes back to say to Travis, I just don't want Tamra to say anything to Shannon that goes to upset her. Well, as soon as we saw that, we know what's going to happen. And that was not what it was about.
Right.
That was not what it was about.
Right. It was about Tamra calling her an alcoholic and a drunk all last season. And now you're drinking with her.
And you're pulling her away to go drink.
Right. Like that was the issue.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But this is Tamra at her finest.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Emily picks up Gretchen and they head to Heather's. Shannon, Jenn, Gina, and Tamra. I didn't know. I guess that was Tamra's pickup truck that they threw all the luggage in because Tamra was driving it, right? I didn't know Tamra had a pickup truck, but it doesn't surprise me since they go to Big
it
Bear
could have
all
been
the
a
time.
rental too, but Eddie seems like the type of guy that's probably got a big old pickup truck.
Yep. Yeah. So Shannon has 2 suitcases for the one night, but she says it's because she's got her pans in there. And okay, we take that at face value. And then she gets in the back and she says to Gina, I lost my flipper. And Gina turns around and we see that she's missing a tooth. I was like, oh my God, Shannon. I do like Shannon. I really do.
Well, so listen, I listened to Jeff Lewis and I forget who was on. Kiki Monique.
Yeah.
That's a whole other issue. We got to talk about that. But Jeff Lewis was basically saying, like, that's Shannon. Like, everybody thinks this is a shtick and it's like an act. It's not. This is who Shannon is. She's a fucking mess. She's just a mess every day of her life. And I believe it.
I do too. I mean, she's got a good heart. Her intentions are pure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But she is, this is exactly who she is.
Yeah.
She doesn't pretend to be something that she's not, which I like.
Not even a little bit.
And honestly,
it's very authentic.
Yes, I like friends like her. Like she's also that friend that you know what you're getting. So she's going to be a little disheveled. She'll probably be a little bit late. She's going to, have all these like ideas and not really think about the execution of them. But you're going to have a damn good time when she's there. You're going to have a good time. You're going to laugh. You're going to laugh.
But here's the difference. Shannon doesn't have a whole lot going on, right? To be sharing with people in her personal
Not that we know of
right now.
Not that we know of. Right.
Neither does Heather, right? We could say that. I'd rather watch Shannon all day long because I know with Shannon, what you see is what you get. That is truly who Shannon is. Heather, every scene is so produced and it's a big act. It's nothing.
Sure.
It's her opening Fendi bags. It's nonsense, but it's an act. Shannon, she's got her lashes half on, half off. Her hair's a mess. But that's who she is, and that's where she's at right now. I would rather watch Shannon all day long. All day long.
Me too. I would too. I completely agree. Then we see Gretchen and Emily show up at Heather's penthouse, and they have Nate, the sleepover butler, there. Okay, she's got a butler for the sleepover. Talk about pretentious.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that, though.
I mean, listen.
If we do a sleepover, we're getting a sleepover butler.
Okay. I mean, did you see the little bed tents that she has set up?
I actually loved those.
You did?
In front of that big window? I did love
because it's in her living room. It's her actual living room. Because, it's a 1-bedroom penthouse.
I know.
They're not sleeping in her bedroom. We're not going to get to see her bedroom.
I wouldn't. Of course not.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever have a sleepover at Heather Dubrow's house, but if I do a sleepover, I like that setup.
Okay. All right. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say no
if
she invites me.
There. I am. Because then I'd have to be fake nice, and I can't do it.
I don't know. You can't be fake nice.
I can't be fake nice.
No, they arrive at the house in Temecula, and it's gorgeous. There's enough bedrooms for everyone. Tamra gives the primary to Shannon to make her feel comfortable, and then in her confessional, she said, I don't need the primary room. That's where I feel uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh my God. It's like,
because it's too much. She's like, it's too much.
It is too much.
Way too much.
So then we see them. They're bringing in the luggage from the pickup truck, but Shannon's in the kitchen, like looking at the stuff in the drawers and stuff. And then we find out that she's cooking breakfast, so she needed to bring a few things. And we see an immersion blender, a muffin tin, platters, mixers, utensils, an egg white maker, just to name a few. I was like, what is going on here? And I'll be honest with you, I know somebody who's very much like this. Like you invite them someplace like for the night, and I have a friend, and I can remember a time we went to Atlantic City, and I mean the refrigerator in the room wasn't cold. It showed up like 2 hours late. Wanted to make all these decorations and decorate the room, and then we come back in the room and there's another refrigerator there, plus the broken refrigerator because it was just like all this stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, like Shannon is like that. Like has all these really good, like the intentions were good. The intentions are all
The
good,
intent is good. Yes.
but sometimes like the
But
I mean,
it's
it's too
stressful.
much. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how our breakfast turns out. It's probably going to be great. But maybe not. We'll see. Um, we'll have to wait and see. Heather asks Gretchen and Emily how the ride up was, and they say that they analyzed Tamra. And we see Emily saying that Tamra's not a girl's girl. She said she seems like the type who would always be friends with the guys. Yes, she does. She also talks. This is what I thought was very interesting about this episode is how Emily got really caught in this episode. She's really bad mouthing Tamra in this episode. She was bad mouthing Heather, and she's going to get called out on this. I mean, obviously not in this episode, but in the very near future, this is all coming out.
The reunion's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Going to be interesting because we know how Heather plays. You fuck with Heather one time, you're done. I mean, this is why there's a witch hunt on Katie right now.
Yeah.
So the reunion's going to be very interesting. And whether or not Heather's afraid of Tamra or Tamra's afraid of Heather, Heather and Tamra clearly have an alliance. Nobody's coming in between that. So if you fuck with Heather, now you have Heather and Tamra gunning for you.
Yep.
So
And that's
Emily
what's going to happen.
should
That
be
is what is going to
probably a little
happen.
worried after this episode.
I'm just so surprised because honestly, I thought Emily was smarter than that. But maybe because of everything that's going on with her son, she's off her game. Because she's got to know that this is going to come out.
Also think that it's very interesting to see all of them navigate through this Katie thing. And honestly, I don't know who to believe. Gretchen was clearly lying. Gretchen clearly said she went to the hospital. And here's the other thing. I was thinking about this today. If Naked Wasted happened today, it would be so different. And I think it's because of where the internet is now. We all have a voice now as fans of Bravo, as fans of Housewives, as fans of reality TV, as fans of everything. We all have a voice, right? So we didn't really have a voice back then. This was very early on. Yes, there was the internet. Yes, we read their blogs every week after the shows, right? Do you remember doing that? I always
never
went
read their
on
blogs.
bravotv.com.
Nope.
And
I never read their blogs.
I always read their blogs.
No, because I thought it would be bullshit anyway.
I do true. And, then you'd have people paying people to write their blogs. I do remember thinking that Naked Wasted Night was very fucked up and it was not good for Tamra to do that. But could you imagine if that happened now? I think Tamra would have been fired if that happened now.
Definitely. I definitely think so.
You're pushing alcohol and God only knows what, because we don't know what else was going on there that night.
No, we don't. We don't.
We really don't.
No.
But I honestly think that Tamra would have gotten so much more heat if that happened now. And I think it would have been enough heat from fans of the show that it might have gotten her fired. She doesn't have a huge fan base. It's not like we've said this before. Teresa has a huge maybe not as much as she used to, but she still has enough people saying like, no, we want Teresa on the show. You don't see that a lot for Tamra.
It's interesting that you say that because Tamra and Eddie were also on the Jeff Lewis show. And Tamra was saying that, according to Alex Baskin, the audience doesn't really get to decide whether or not a housewife comes back. And the hate that's on there, like the negative comments about her or any other housewife, is such a small percentage of, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I mean, are we reading and looking at the same things? Because I don't think that that's true. How can that be true?
It's not true. She's full of shit. And yes, they 100%. I think, take the audience's reactions into consideration, because Andy Cohen always says you have to figure out the difference. Do they love to hate you, or do they hate to hate you? Because when they hate to hate you, that's when it becomes a problem. And I think we're at the
Yes.
point where people hate to hate Tamra.
Yeah. This is
So
very
I
true.
think that if Naked Wasted happened right now, Tamra would be fired on the spot. She probably should have been back then, but again, listen, this was before the Me Too movement. This was before all of that. We're in such a different place as a country now, thank God.
Right.
Where
Before
treatment
Diddy.
like that, before
Yeah.
Diddy, exactly, Harvey Weinstein. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're in a different place, thank God. It's a shame we weren't then, but progress. We're moving in the right direction.
Well, maybe on that front, we're moving in the right direction. But I mean, well, I don't think our country's in a great place right now as we speak.
Oh, 100%. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. And I
Yes,
just
we
want
have a
people to
lot
know
of
that
work to do.
we're not tone deaf to that. But I don't want to talk
That's
about it
right.
because I'm here to
No.
talk about Housewives, and I need
That's
something
right.
light and something airy, and I'd rather criticize this than what is
That's right.
actually happening. To be quite honest
That's
with you.
right. And
But we do
listen,
know that
yeah,
we're not in
you're
a great
absolutely
spot.
right. There's a lot of work to do, but we're not going to
Yeah.
talk about it.
No, because we're talking about this because this is entertainment.
Right. Listen, we got enough shit going on at home.
Yep.
This
That's
is what
it.
we do for fun. And we're
Exactly.
not going to make it not fun.
Exactly. Damn
because
it.
that would suck.
Exactly.
I just want to drink and talk about Housewives.
That's right. That's right. It's so funny. When we were leaving last night, we went to happy hour and we were leaving the bar, and I ran into somebody at the bar that Tara knew and I knew, and she's like, "Are you We Wine?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm." Yeah. She's like, "I want to come on that podcast." She's like, "I love wine." I said, "That's great. I love wine too. And you could come on." I said, we don't talk about wine." She goes, "But you drink wine." I said, "Yes, we drink wine." I said, "We talk about
100%.
Housewives." She's like, "I'll talk about Housewives as long as I can drink wine." I said, "Yes, that's it. That is what we are about. That's what we're about."
I had no idea what happened. I walk outside. Heather's like, "We lost them." I'm like, "How did we lose them? We were right near the front door." She's like, "I don't know. They saw somebody at the bar."
So just so our audience knows, this is what we're about. We're about drinking wine, having fun, and talking about Housewives. That's what we're about.
And listen, it's not always about the drinking. I just did a 3-week hiatus where I had not an ounce of alcohol. So if you don't drink, we would still love you to listen if you like Housewives.
Yes, exactly. So back to Orange County. So Heather says that, so Emily's talking about the photo, right? And how Jen is upset about the photo because she still hasn't seen it. And Heather says, well, I think she was showing me the picture because she was saying that this is what she looked like before, and now she looks more like me. Okay. All right. That's what you're going with right now.
It's just Heather defending Tamra. It's just Heather defending Tamra. That's not what it was. You know what she was doing, Heather. She was trying to make you see that Jen was heavier at one point. Still in that picture, Jen was in way better shape than I am right now. So God bless you, Jen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But that was the intent of showing that photo, Heather, and we all know it. So stop it.
So then back in Temecula, Tamra yells to the ladies, "Come on, the limousines are here." And Shannon's walking down the stairs and she's like, "There better not be motorcycles." Sure enough, there was motorcycles.
Sure were motorcycles.
With double sidecars. I've never seen a double sidecar. Have you?
No.
I
totally want to go in one.
It looks so cool. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Fun. I mean, like not to go out on a main road or on a highway, but to go down a quiet street to a winery. Yes, super fun.
Yes, yes. I mean,
I'm down for that.
They all look like they were having a great time. They were laughing.
Yes.
Shannon's laughing. Yes. She's like, oh no, snot's coming out of my nose. And Jen is behind her. She's like, well, it's hitting me in the face. I was just like, oh my God. Shannon's like, well, it is allergy season.
Tamra had it on her sunglasses.
On her sunglasses again.
So gross.
That's why I love Shannon. Then back in Beverly Hills, we see the other ladies are walking on Rodeo Drive. And as they're crossing the street, Emily asks Heather if she called the paparazzi. And Gretchen says, oh my God, it is paparazzi. And then the paparazzo, I guess that's what you call a single paparazzi, comes over and says, well, you didn't call us. It was totally coincidental. And at that point, I think she's talking about this incident right here. But then she goes on to say, no, I know the photographer that took the shot. She's talking about the Disneyland thing 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I mean,
what are the odds?
Heather,
Come on. Come on.
Heather, we're not fucking morons. Like, just stop. Don't you understand the more you talk about it, the more you're giving this life, the more you look guilty? Just stop it.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck if you call the paparazzi.
We
Nobody
really don't.
cares. You're going
Nobody
to
cares.
such great lengths to prove yourself, innocent. You're making yourself look more guilty, and nobody cares.
That's it.
Nobody cares
cares.
if Terry cheated on you, quite honestly, because wasn't that the whole thing that they did this whole paparazzi shoot because there was,
Yes.
rumors out there that he was cheating. Personally, I don't think Terry would ever cheat on Heather because that would be one hell of a divorce, expensive. And honestly, I think they're a good couple. I think they're a cute couple. I don't believe that he would even cheat on her. I don't give a fuck if he did, but I don't think he would. Like, oh my God, stop trying to prove this. It's just making you look so guilty.
It's like what episode number did I say this is?
10.
I mean, 10th episode of the second season, we are talking about this.
We're still talking about this.
And actually, it was from the season prior to it. It's actually now the third season.
You're absolutely right.
It is the third season we are talking about this.
It's like, tell me you're not retaliating against Katie without telling me you're retaliating against Katie.
This
is what it's all about. This is a witch hunt on Katie. I mean, listen, Katie moved very poorly this season or in the off season.
Yeah.
She just did. She did. She talked to the wrong people. She talked to too many people. She moved in the wrong way. However, Heather, you're clearly retaliating. Stop with the paparazzi thing in Disneyland.
Enough. I know.
You're right. It's the third season we're talking about this.
That's insane.
And quite honestly, Emily's the first one to have brought this up 3 seasons ago, isn't she? She was the one who was laughing about it, I believe. I could be wrong.
It was 3 years ago. I cannot
remember. I know.
I don't remember.
Oh my God.
They're going to Crush Station, a restaurant called Crush Station, for dinner. The waiter comes up and Gretchen asks if they have Fireball. What? I mean, come on. He says no. She said if she mixes it, it gets really ugly. Emily says that she brought Fireball to bring out like the real Gretchers and not the perfectly coiffed Gretchers. Calling her Gretchers again.
So what are you trying to do, like a Naked Wasted 2.0?
Sounds like it. The waiter recommends the tuna cigar. I didn't know what that was. I still don't know what it is, to be honest with you, even after it came out. But
it was something with caviar and it was wrapped. It was like an appetizer, but one of them said, I guess Gretchen said, I don't like caviar and gave it to Emily or something. Emily gave it to Gretchen. Okay.
Yeah, Emily gave it to Gretchen.
Yeah.
So then Emily asks, what's the best steak? And the waiter says, well, the best steak in the world is the Japanese A5 Wagyu. So she's like, oh, I'll have that. Heather's paying. And Heather's like, yeah, that's fine. And we see the 5 ounce is $149. Just putting that out there. The ladies are at the wine tasting and then they ask for the spit buckets because they don't want to drink all the wine. And I think that was good that they did that because sometimes those wine tastings, like it could get like you don't realize it. You're sitting at the table and all of a sudden 4 ounces, like it adds up. Have you done a wine tasting?
It definitely adds up.
Have you?
We did that one in Smithville.
That you and I did?
When Lori stole the stole the other person's flight.
Yeah.
We should do classic Lori.
Yeah, we should go to a wine tasting. That should be our next outing.
I would love to do that.
Not that one. Like we should go find a really good one. We did one in we did that one in the park that Bill and I got we won free tickets for it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just wine, it was hard alcohol too. That was good though. We have to find one of those.
There's one up in North Jersey. I think it might be on the Pennsylvania border, but you go on a train. Yeah, it's really cool. The only problem is you need somebody to drive you home.
I was just going to say, can we take Eric with us?
Yeah.
Like, can we take a sober driver? Like just
that's what we would have to do.
Yeah. All right, we got to plan this. All right. So they get the spit bucket and Tamra, like even before it comes out, she's like to Shannon, Do you like me again? Like, really obnoxious.
So awkward. So
So
awkward.
it was obnoxious. Shannon's like, yeah, okay. Then they bring out the spittoons, and Jen said, "Oh, we're some HawkTuas." And Gina and Tamra start laughing, and Shannon's like, "What's a HawkTua?" And Tamra graphically describes it to Shannon, and Shannon's like, "What?" In her confessional, she's like, "I'm not a spitter. Sorry, I don't know what a HawkTua is." And the producer says, "Well, are you more of a swallower?" And she's like, "Well, I swallow when I'm drinking. If I'm drinking something, I swallow." Oh, that doesn't sound good. I was like, Shannon.
I think she was trying to navigate that and somehow got out of it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And then back in Beverly Hills, the waiter brings out the world famous tuna cigar, and it does have the caviar on the end. And Emily doesn't want it, so she gives hers to Gretchen. Heather's telling them how she's taking classes at the Groundlings, and now that she's, in LA at the apartment, the penthouse. And there's a girl there that wrote a musical, and she asked Heather to be in it. And she said that she was so happy to do it, that that's where her career started, was in musical theater, and that she's taking vocal lessons and acting. And then the other ladies at the Vineyard were talking about how she was taking comedy classes. And they were surprised to hear that they think that Terry's more comedic than Heather is. That maybe he should be doing the comedy classes. Yeah. Just Heather, being Heather. Now this is where it gets good. So Emily tells Heather that Jen asked me if Heather just pacifies Tamra because she's afraid of her. And Heather's like, "What was your response?" And look on her face is like, and then they cut to the scene where Emily is in fact saying that to Jen. Emily said, "I don't remember, but I think maybe I said that you did." Heather said,
Thank God
"First of
she
all,"
said that. Thank God she said that, because if she didn't say that, it
Mhm.
would have been real bad. It's bad.
I mean, it's still real bad. She's the one who said it. Jen didn't
It's
ask her that.
bad.
She's the one
But
who said it.
well, that's the thing. Yeah, Jen didn't ask her. Emily just
Right.
offered that.
Exactly. It's bad. It's bad.
It is bad. It is bad. But at least she admit to saying something. Like, at least she wasn't like, I was like, oh,
I'm just telling you, wait till Heather sees that. I mean, as of now, I'm sure she's seen it. I'm sure she's pissed. Sure she's pissed. Heather said, first of all, Jen's statement is bullshit. And Emily said, well, during your lie detector test, they asked you if you were afraid of Tamra, and you said yes. And Heather said, yeah, well, during the lie detector test, I was kind of like, yeah. What? What kind of answer is that? Emily's like, well, are you still afraid of her now? And she's like, no, not now. What?
Listen, they have an alliance. They're not going to go against each other. They're never going to go against each other. That would be a good season if one of them went against the other one. Not going to happen. And I shouldn't even say that, because I don't.
We don't want that. Right. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. So then after the wine tasting, the ladies are walking through the vineyard, but they're in twos, and Shannon and Jen are together, and Shannon just like falls down, and then she can't get back up.
Shannon should just always wear flats. Don't wear wedges. Don't wear heels. Just wear flats.
Yes.
You seem to struggle with a heightened heel in any shape of a heightened heel.
I don't think anyone should be wearing heels to a vineyard. Let's just put that out there.
That's what I mean. These ladies dress ridiculous for we're going to the reality virtual awards on Wednesday. Our group chat is filled with, what the fuck are we wearing? Because everything is based. Exactly. Everything is based on the shoes we're wearing, because we're going to be in the city, and we're smart. We're from Jersey.
Yeah.
And by the way, we still haven't figured it out.
No, we haven't, but we'll let you know.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
So Gina's with Tamra, and she's telling her that Jen is still upset about the fatty photo. And Tamra's like, I didn't really say that. And she finds out that it kind of came from Heather. And Tamra said, well, that's unfortunate. So then they go.
Gina said that Heather said fat photo, but she didn't.
No.
Heather said she looked heavier in the photo. Listen, I'm not a Heather defender, but there is a big difference. There's a difference in those two statements.
There is. There is. And the ladies go inside to the winery for dinner, and Tamra starts right out to Jen. Gina brought up something to me on our walk. When you and I talked the other day, I thought everything was totally resolved, but Jen said, well, I did, but then everyone keeps bringing up the photo, this fatty photo, and I haven't even seen it. So Tamra said, well, I never said fatty photo. I was just talking about the fact that you had changed from when we met. And Jen's like, I haven't changed that much, when, we met. I have changed since I was married. And, I probably, I was eating more then. And she shows her the picture. Tamra in her confessional said, maybe it's because of Ryan's influence. I heard he likes tits on a stick. Are you kidding me?
Like, why would you say that?
And Jen
Tamra
is
said
that.
Jen used to be shy and timid in her, and then in her confessional, she's like, she's always got her tits out.
Right.
So do you.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least she used to, Tamra. Maybe not anymore, but I kind of feel like she still does.
So then Jen asks Tamra, like, when did it change? And Tamra's like, well, it became a problem when we went to Cabo and Ryan said, I love Jennifer. And I said, well, she's married. And he said, yeah, I know she's going to divorce him. She's like, 2 months prior, like we were hanging out with Will. And then Eddie feels like he feels dirty. Like we're hanging out with the husband and the boyfriend. Wait, what? I love that Shannon called this out.
Yeah.
In her confessional, Shannon's like, can Tamra say hypocrite? Because she was having an affair with Eddie while she was married to Simon.
Yeah, like all of a sudden Eddie has a moral compass. You were having sex with a married woman.
Right.
On national television in a bathtub.
I don't
maybe
think
they weren't having sex. But
no, then. I don't think they were married.
she was divorced during the bathroom scene. All right. But she was definitely cheating on Simon with Eddie.
Yeah. It's so funny because when we say that, people will come in our comments and be like, no, she wasn't. And I'm like, yes, she was. Like,
Well, they say she wasn't cheating on Simon with Eddie.
Yeah.
Listen, I believe that Tamra probably left her marital home maybe before she started a relationship with Eddie, but she was probably still legally married when she started sleeping with him. I'm just going to say, go out on a limb and say that.
Right. So, Tamra shows Jen the picture and she admits that she was being shady. And Jen's like, well, why did you go there? And Tamra apologized. And Jen said, this is where the problem lies. Like, you apologize. And Tamra's like, well, I apologize. Like, what do you want? Blood? And then Shannon jumps in and she's like, Tamra, you don't want to take accountability, like, for what you do. Like, you go low, you go really low. I don't go that low. She doesn't go that low. She doesn't go that low. Then Tamra's like, yeah, you do. You just don't say it to their face. What? So then.
By the way, my DVR cut off at this point.
Oh, it did? Yeah.
Yes. So everything you're going to say after this, I have no notes on because my DVR cut off. But I'm very glad that Shannon called her out on that because Tamra does go way too low.
Yep. Shannon said, I like you, Tamra. And Tamra's like, it sounds like it. Shannon said, I have reservations because you've been like this. And then you're like this roller coaster. And she does the roller coaster motion. How about, and then Tamra yells, how about all those years 10 years I've been there for you through your divorce, through everything. She said, yeah, you said it sucked the life out of you. Tamra's like, yeah, it did. You do. Shannon said, you've not been in my life for 1 year and my life has been better without you. I was like, ooh, good for her. She's like, I don't think you know how hard it was for me last year. Tamra said, you would drink and you would say things. Tamra said, even Gina said that she's concerned about your drinking.
And there it is.
Right there. Shannon looked at Gina and said, what do you mean? Gina said, I worry about you. Okay. That's not what happened. And that's not what was said. That's not what was said. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And I hope that comes out. I mean, we'll see.
Well, then Shannon's going to see what the conversation was. And the conversation was clearly Gina saying to Tamra, I don't understand why last year you're coming down hard on her for being an alcoholic. And this year you're pulling her aside to go do shots when nobody's looking. That's what the conversation was. Tamra's the one who turned it around into, oh, so you're worried about Shannon's drinking again? No, asshole. I'm worried about your behavior. But Tamra will never address her behavior. Tamra will never acknowledge her poor behavior. She just wants everybody to move on. She thinks that if she says she's sorry, everybody's just supposed to move on.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
It doesn't. And honestly, if she were really going to therapy and really taking her therapy seriously, she would know that by now. Because at this point, she should have been in therapy for quite some time because she announced her autism diagnosis quite a while before this. So she's been in therapy long enough to know that you can't just blink your eyes and move on from a situation. You have to address it. And everyone involved in the situation has the right to address it with you.
Yeah, 100%.
We all know people who
100%.
want to just skirt on by without addressing what's happened in the past.
So this is episode 10. I guess we'll see what happens next. We already know the reunion is going to be explosive just because of the Katie factor, let alone all
Well,
this
not
other.
only the reunion, but something comes out in the finale. They're saying, like, Emily's come out and said that it's like fractured the group.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's Gretchen says that Tamra cheated on Eddie, which I've speculated myself. So I don't know how explosive that is, but
Yeah. I mean, I just see scenes from next week, and Slade is talking about she was in some recording studio and she didn't realize the microphone was still on.
yeah.
I don't know what that's in reference to, but I mean, it's probably 17 years ago, to be quite honest with you, because
Right.
that's all they keep bringing up. And I don't
Maybe
really give
maybe
a
they're talking about her having an affair on Simon. Who knows?
who
But
knows, but
whatever
honestly,
happens, Emily says that it fractures the group, the finale.
yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.